A very good evening to you and welcome. It's Tuesday, 17th September 2024. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this evening, police kill leader of armed robbery gang Chukwumela in Port Harcourt. RISEC receives non-sensitive materials ahead of 5th October local government elections. Bauchi State Governor criticizes FCT Minister Wike. Human rights lawyer Falano says it's illegal for NNPCL to determine price of Dangote petrol. On the foreign scene, Italy to face storm after flood killed 21 in Europe. I am Constance Irele Mega. We'll go on a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll bring you the details. Stay tuned. For staying with us, and now the news in detail. The Rivers State Police Command says its operatives have killed the leader of an armed robbery gang, Chukwumela, popularly known as Boy Satan. The State Commissioner of Police, Olatunji Disu, told journalists at the command headquarters in Port Harcourt that Boy Satan led a 5-man gang involved in car snatching, burglary, and rape across various parts of Port Harcourt. Well, CP Disu said the gang had stolen over 10 vehicles in the last 3 months.
We are very happy to bring to your notice the neutralization of one of our biggest armed robbers that we have been looking out for. He's popularly known around town as Boy Satan. He is notorious for car snatching, burglary, and raping. He has been to prison over 4 times for various crimes, ranging from cultism, raping, and armed robbery. Together with his childhood friend and companion, Precious Adjili, he joined the cult group in 2009. He is famed for merciless killing of both rivals and allies. He decided to make a bold statement by accosting his friend, Precious Adjili, and macheting him to death in his residence.
Well, CPD also said operatives of the Octopus Strike Unit recovered 2 vehicles from the gang, and investigations are ongoing to arrest more gang members.
The gang has been responsible for snatching at gunpoint over 10 cars in the last 3 months, and they have been terrorizing River State residents. He returned from prison and continued his criminal activities, which led to him being incarcerated in 3 more times before he was eventually neutralized by the River State Police Command. His gang came under full flare of the police of the command after they robbed one Timothy of his Toyota Camry on the night of April 17, 2024, and used the same car to loot shops and houses around Ajib at the George area of Port Harcourt before selling the vehicle to one of their receivers who is still at large.
Well, CP Disu also said police operatives arrested one Prince Obonda, who allegedly abducted a female minor from Enugu State and transported her to Port Harcourt in a sack. before taking her to an internet fraudster named Chima.
Operatives of the command attached to Abuluma Police Station, Port Harcourt, received credible information about a lady that was abducted. Operatives swiftly moved to the area and arrested one suspect named Prince Amadi Okunda, aged 24, a native of Ekaya community in Port Harcourt, but a resident of Aqua area of Enugu. A teenager named Withheld, aged 16 years old, a resident of Gariki area, Enugu, was found being held against her will. During preliminary investigations, it was revealed that the suspect lured the victim out of Gariki area, put her in a Ghana must-go bag, and brought her to Port Harcourt.
Well, correspondent Emeko Tuka reports that the police also paraded 8 suspects involved in an employment scam in Port Harcourt.
There is this group of people who are involved in employment scam, advanced free fraud. They send messages all over to people that they have jobs for them to do here in River State. And when they get to River State, these scammers tell them that they are there to sell a product called buildings and ship pendants. And they start training of these people who are looking for employment. To open registration, to be registered for these sales of these products, everybody has to pay the sum of 750,000 naira, and some have paid as much as 1.5 million naira. And that after 2 weeks, they will start getting their dividends in dollars.
Moving on now, the Nigerian Navy Forward Operating Base in Bonny says it rescued 20 stranded passengers, including children, from a faulty speedboat along the Bonny-Port Harcourt waterways. Commanding officer of the Forward Operating Base Bonny, Captain Maksum Mohammed, at a media briefing, said the passengers were rescued during an intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance mission, where he said his team encountered passengers at the mouth of a creek where previous kidnap incidents had occurred.
Having disembarked the 20 passengers from the passenger boat and then conveying them to the passenger terminal at Coal Beach. Upon getting there, I saw so many of these kind of boats at the passenger terminal, numbering close to 100 of them, and we were able to view them, have a bird's eye view of the general terminal area, passenger terminal area from the drone. So we could just see everything, and it was just a chaotic view we were looking at.
Captain Mohammed, I beg your pardon, the Navy captain urged the state government and Bonny local government to consider deploying ferries to transport passengers, especially along the Bonny-Port Harcourt waterways.
With all that multitude of boats, most of them not in good order, it's just a matter of time before a major disaster occurs. And the only way to stop that from happening is for the government to intervene by providing a ferry service between Port Harcourt and Bonny. In doing so, not only will it take away this risk posed by the operations of these unregulated boat drivers, to also tackle the problem of sea robbers and pirates attacking passengers on boats.
Well, Captain Mohammed also said kidnappers now use a new tactic where boat drivers get to the mouth of a creek and pretend to be struggling with their engines. In other news, the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission (RISEC) has received non-sensitive materials as part of its preparations for the 5th October local government elections. Correspondent Suibu Ruwari, who cited some of them, reports that the non-sensitive electoral materials, including ballot boxes, voting booths, indelible ink, and other essential items, were delivered to the Commission last weekend at their headquarters in Port Harcourt. Well, our also noticed minimal activities at the RISEC headquarters, although preparations for the elections are ongoing. It was also gathered that the Commission is not strictly following the timetable due to last month's End Bad Governance protests, which affected its schedule. Now, also, the full list of candidates has not been displayed at polling units, where party officials were also seen submitting documents. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has dismissed a threat by the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike to instigate a crisis in state party chapters if the governors interfere in the internal affairs of Rivers PDP. Well, Governor Bala dismissed the threat while hosting members of the PDP National Working Committee in Bauchi today. Governor Mohammed said Bauchi is strong enough to handle any challenges. He also said the disagreements within the party are not personal and should not be misunderstood. Elsewhere, the Julius Abure-led Labour Party says it's not true that the constitution of the Senator Nenadi Usman-led Caretaker Committee of the party saved it from being deregistered by INEC. National Publicity Secretary of the Labour Party, Obiora Ifo, said this in a statement in Abuja today. But Mr. Obiora, Mr. Ifo, said the Labour Party has fully abided by the laws of the land and cannot be deregistered by INEC. Still to come, human rights lawyer Femi Falano says it's illegal for NNPCL to determine price of Dangote petrol. Stay tuned. Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. The Office of the National Security Advisor, NSA, has announced the appointment of Ojuka Flagamakri as the new Director of Energy Security. In a statement signed by the Head of Strategic Communication, Zakari Miji Nyawa, the role is part of the government's commitment to ensuring a stable, sustainable, and secure energy supply for all Nigerians. The statement said the new Directorate of Energy Security Office of the NSA will focus on policy coordination, infrastructure protection strategies, data management, security coordination, risk advisory, and strategic alliances in the energy sector. But Mr. Flagamakri will oversee key national energy security initiatives and will also work closely with various stakeholders, including government, ministries, security agencies, regulators in the energy sector, international partners, and community leaders to implement innovative solutions to Nigeria's current and future energy challenges. Well, the statement said the appointment shows President Bola Tinubu's commitment to strengthening energy security and resilience while addressing supply chain concerns. Elsewhere, the chairman of the Port Harcourt zone of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASAN, George Nwoko, says there is no part of the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA, that gives the NNPCL the right to be the sole distributor of the petrol from the Dangote refinery. Mr. Nwoko spoke on Nigeria Info FM's Morning Crossfire.
I can also put for you where NPC have said that the Dangote refinery and any other domestic refinery are free to directly to any marketer on a willing buyer, willing seller basis, which is the current practice for any fully deregulated product. An NPC Limited has no desire or intention to become distributor of any entity, and therefore the notion of becoming a sole operator does not arise. You agree with me that marketers have products which they imported before now. We just happen to get products from Dangote refinery. Let's allow them to exhaust what they have already in their stock.
Well, Mr. Nwoko said marketers will soon begin lifting petrol from the Dangote refinery.
So I would assume that this is where the pilot is. Maybe we are still seeing ceremonial part of the product being released. But when we are done with this, we should allow marketers full access to the product. Actually, maybe there is a crude swap agreement for now.
In the meantime, human rights lawyer Femi Falana says it is legal for the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, to determine the price of the Dangote petrol after deregulation. Mr. Falana, in a statement, said the action of the NNPCL contravenes Section 205 of the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
Intense storms battering Central Europe are now reaching Italy, where warnings for heavy rain, strong winds and floods have been issued for most parts of the country, where floods are already reported in the central city of Pescara and the northern coast to the far south, where the warnings come as flooding has devastated parts of Poland, the Czech Republic, Romania and Austria this week, leaving at least 21 people dead. That's it on the news this evening, but before we go, let's take a look at the highlights. On the news this evening, you heard that the police in Rivers State have killed the leader of an armed robbery gang, Chukwumela, known as Boy Satan, in Port Harcourt. RISEC says it has taken delivery of non-sensitive materials ahead of the 5th local government elections. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed says his state is ready to withstand any threat from the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana says it is illegal for the NNPCL to determine the price of Dangote petrol. And on the foreign scene, Italy is to face a storm after flood killed 21 persons in Europe. The news was edited by Onyekachi Nwosu. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I am Constance Irele Mega. Thank you so much for listening. Good evening.